am super excited for you to join me today. We have an amazing topic for you, but for some of you, I want to know, have you tried working with different health coaches and professionals, but no one really seems to be able to completely solve your health issues? So we are going to tackle that exact issue today, and we are going to talk about the difference between a typical health coach and an FDN practitioner. So I'm really excited to dig into this. If you are just joining us, I want you to drop the word me, below this video, and we are going to send you a link to get paired with the perfect FDN practitioner for you. If you are looking for an FDN practitioner and somebody to really help you change the course of your health, drop the word me below, and we are going to send you that link so that you can find the perfect match for you. I am your host, Piper Gibson, Director of FDN Course Enrollment. And this week, I have Evan Transue joining me, and we are going to be talking about the difference between a typical health coach and an FDN health coach. And Evan has some great information to share. So how are you today, Evan?
I'm doing so well. I was very nervous with my technology, but it looks like we're good now that we're on the computer. So I'm glad to be here with you again.
Yeah, it looks awesome. So thank you for joining me once again on the Real Results Show. Mm-hmm. So I would like to just kind of start out and talk a little bit about, when we talk about a typical health coach, what is it that a typical health coach is doing?
Yeah, and I can speak to this. And I'm certainly, listen, there's a lot of amazing certifications out there, right? So I want to first and foremost mention that all of them have their strengths. I don't even need to mention the other ones that I have. But I do find that most health coaches, and especially, again, the other certifications that I have, they are more someone that is like talking through the goal setting aspect of people with their own health journeys. And as you and I both know, a lot of the stuff that we do in terms of the action steps themselves, let's be honest, I mean, it's relatively simple. I could give someone a sheet of a bunch of stuff to do, and, why won't they do it, right? There's a lot of psychology that comes with this, and you do need to be a good coach. So I appreciate those lessons. But when we're trying to actually utilize a health coach for all it's worth, I think an FDN practitioner really is a whole different level. And it's the reason I kept getting certifications and came to here and then kind of stopped afterwards. I didn't really feel like I needed much else because I thought this was a great last thing for me. What we're doing is not only being that person that can help you set those goals and achieve those goals, but we are really diving deep to find hidden causes of stress in your body. And most importantly, we're looking for healing opportunities, right? Which I think is what makes us so unique. We're not treating a symptom. We're not playing doctor, although, of course, some FDNs are doctors, but I'm not. So I'm not out here doing any of those things. And the best part is I don't need to be doing any of those things. I can just look at the hidden stressors in the body. I can look at the major places for healing. For some, that's a huge dietary shift. For others, it's like, here's a really basic one. I'm working night shift and I don't know why I'm not feeling better. Well, okay, I have a pretty clear recommendation for you and a route that we should be taking, right? That's a total hidden stressor. I guess not so hidden, but you might not realize it's a stressor. And it's an easy healing opportunity. And when you address everything non-specifically, the irony is all these specific things seem to start getting better. And that's absolutely what happened to me. So just in summary, I'd say the biggest difference is most health coaches out there are taught to just basically go through like goal setting with their clients and not really understand what it means to heal the body by not treating anything. So that's my explanation, I'd say.
So is it more along the lines of mental, emotional?
Yes, which has a huge aspect. Like we all know that. We definitely need that side. And that's why FDN focuses on that as well. I'm just saying basically FDN covers all of those other things I learned and then some. So why would I could have probably just done this as my point and been just as well off.
Right. Absolutely. So I want to touch on the fact that we talked a little bit about hidden stressors. So what are some of the tools that FDNs are using to look for hidden stressors or risk factors in the body?
Yeah, I'd say one of the number one things that we have is the lab testing that we utilize, right? And a lot of people are confused. How do you utilize lab testing? Well, what's cool about us is we're just trained in the analysis of it. All lab testing done through FDNs is self-testing. You're running this test on yourself. We might give hey, this is a good one to run because we can analyze that better. So it's a suggestion, but it's not a recommendation. And you are the one doing the test. So we are trained to analyze that, not to necessarily run that on any specific person. I'll give a few examples of some of the flagship ones that we use. One of my favorites still to this day, and it's interesting because I was actually skeptical about it at first, was the food sensitivity test that we use, like our main one. The MRT, which is the mediator release test by Oxford Biomedical Laboratories. This test is awesome. I cannot believe the clinical outcomes that I get with clients when, they're looking at these things, and it's like such complicated technology that we won't get into today. But if you actually look at the results, they're so simple that I could explain it to a 5-year-old, right? It's like green is good, yellow maybe not so good, red bad. It's very straightforward like that. And I have found people getting such easy wins with that. There is a young woman going through the FDN course right now that I actually referred to who had used the MRT before ever finding FDN. She did their protocol that they have, like the LEAP protocol. You're familiar with that, Piper? Yeah. Which we don't even always necessarily use. I don't use that with every client. And she said she had anxiety and depression that had lasted for 2.5 years. 3 or 4 days in to starting that protocol, she has been symptom-free ever since of anxiety and depression for the next, I think I talked to her at like the 3-year mark since she had done that. Now, listen, that's one of the best ones I've ever heard, especially in terms of how fast it was, but it shows you what a food sensitivity can do. Another great one that I think is pretty much a staple in all FDN's practices, and certainly in Fdnthrive, is, a GI map, which is our best stool test right now, and the technology will advance over time, and that might switch, a year or 2 years from now. But right now, that's kind of a gold standard test. It is gonna find stuff going on in the gut because we need to know. Is it a certain type of bacteria in there? Is it a certain type of parasite? And then what's awesome about FDN is, and not to go off on a side note, but we give you the option, right? Because that's the right thing to do. It's like, hey, this is what you can take to your doctor. And if you want to take a more Western medicine route, that's cool. If you want to learn about some natural protocols, we can teach you about those as well. You want to combine both, we can show you how to do that. So there's so much freedom for the client when we're addressing these hidden stressors. And I mean, would you like me to go to one more, like hormone stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, awesome. Like another one of our flagship tests. And I mean, these are really, 3 of the biggest ones in my opinion. We look at hormones. Okay. Now, hormones, a lot of the times when they're out of whack, and I know this from experience because I had some pretty insane numbers. Piper, when I got tested at 21 years old, my progesterone as a male was 4 times out of the high end of the reference range. I was like a 435 on the biohealth one. Wow. I mean, really, no one could actually really even explain that because Brandon Mole, awesome, smart guy, he had never even seen that before. So here's the thing, though. A few years later, I test again, and my progesterone's back in perfect range, as well as, I mean, literally everything else on that test. So what happened, right? Well, when we run a hormone test, the biggest thing that we're able to do is basically provide some immediate relief, and that could be through your doctor, through us, so you don't feel so bad. But we need to ask at the end of the day, why? And I would say, I can't even believe I forgot that. What a huge difference between us and other health coaches. There's plenty of health coaches that don't ask why. There's plenty of Western medicine practitioners that don't ask why. We ask why. Okay, we'll help you out with your symptom if you want, but we need to know why that happened to begin with. And that's what FDN philosophies taught me about my hormone stuff. So yes, you will get some quick relief and feel better, but we'll also show you how not to have out of whack hormones for the rest of your life because we don't want that. So the food sensitivity test, stool testing to look at gut bugs and dysbiosis and even maybe some problems digesting things and general gut inflammation. And then hormone testing, I would say those are some of the ways that we're finding hidden stressors. And I mean, I could spend 20 hours probably talking about all the little different things that we could find on these tests specifically. So everyone's going to be unique in what we find.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with that 100%. I've probably done hundreds of GI map tests at this point. And, I really find that there's always something there. There's always something to address as far as what can we do? Why is it there? Why is such a great question?
Yes.
It really is. So if you're just joining us, I see some people watching, drop the word me below, and we are going to send you a link to find the perfect FDN for you. So if you are interested in working with an FDN practitioner yourself, drop the word me below, and we are going to send you that link. So on that note, Evan, you are part of a brand new program that is being launched by FDN called Fdnthrive. And so I would love for you to tell everybody what that is about and what that's going to be.
Yeah, and this is exciting because I mean, many of the people watching, obviously, unless you're in FDN, you wouldn't know me. I graduated from the course almost 4 years ago now, right? In a few months, it'll be 4 years. And I just knew pretty much from week one of being involved in the FDN course, I wanted to support and help out in some way this company and what they're doing. Because I mean, it's awesome. There is a constant growth in in terms of the education, in terms of helping and being people focused. And it's one thing to do that on the surface, see that on the outside. When I got in this and I realized how focused on the people and the clients Reed Davis, the founder, and all the other employees are, it's like, wow, yeah, this is a very special place. So I'm happy to be here, very grateful for that opportunity. And what we're going to be doing with FDN Thrive is basically the same thing we do with FDN, except this is for the consumer. This is for the client. This is the person who wants to, they like FDN. They've been following us. They're like, wow, I love these philosophies, but I don't think I want to be a practitioner. Like, I'm an accountant. I love accounting, but I have these health issues that FDN is describing, and I really need to get to those hidden causes and figure that stuff out. That's totally cool. We get that everyone's not going to be as involved as we are with this. So that's what FDN Thrive was for, because Reed Davis, the founder, was seeing so many people come that they're the consumer. They want to be clients. And of course, you can send them to other practitioners, but it's fun because you'll still be working with an FDN practitioner. It'll just be under that umbrella of FDN, which allows us to serve so many more people because the infrastructure is already there. And so we're really looking for people out there that are stuck in what we would call the cycle of trial and error. Now, I know that's not how I was thinking, so let me explain what that actually means. The cycle of trial and error is what I was in, but didn't realize it. Yeah. These are the people who are going from doctor to doctor or health coach to health coach or whatever to whatever. And maybe you get some relief here and there. Best case, worst case, maybe you don't get any relief. And at the end of the day, you're still left saying, I've been doing this. All of a sudden you look back, you're like, I've been doing this for years and I haven't gotten better. And the people that we're attracting are just a really cool breed. It's like a total, your vibe attracts your tribe type thing. These people are dedicated. I drove out from Pennsylvania at 21 years old to San Diego, California with my best friend with about $1,200 total in his car because he wanted to go to California. And I convinced him I need to figure out my health issues. So I got to go meet people out there because I knew there was more alternative practitioners. And that's where I met Jen Maleka, which you guys have definitely seen if you watch the show. And Piper, what a good person to meet if you're looking to be convinced to do this. I mean, she has an awesome story and she's so passionate about what she does. And so that's the type of thing, right? That's the people that we're seeing. Maybe you haven't drove across the country. I get it. But no, I've heard extreme things. Like they're like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And you're our last resort. And it's very unfortunate that it was the last resort because this is so much simpler than driving across to California with no money in your pocket and just trying to make it work. We are trying to bring this to the public in such a way that people understand when they are having even the slightest bit of health issues and it's not working in the traditional way, I go to FDN. I don't spend 5 years wasting all my money and trying all these things that aren't working. I can go to FDN Thrive and get served. So I think that's the best way to describe what we're doing here.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, we were stuck in that cycle of trial and error too. I mean, we had been to 10 doctors with my son. We tried 8 different prescriptions. We had really tried everything and it was not working. And so when I had someone say, hey, you should check out this program, I was like, sign me up. This is a different approach. So I want to know when somebody comes to FDN Thrive and they want to be a customer, they want to be a client, what are they going to get? What is included in that FDN Thrive approach?
Absolutely. Well, the number one thing you're going to do is talk to me. So hopefully you like me a little bit by now because I will be the one like kind of guiding people through that process, not as the coach, but just getting you aligned with the person that you're best suited for, because all FDNs work with the same philosophies, but of course we all have our own unique stories, right? And if I can hook you up with someone who's dealt with the exact same health complications you have, I think that's really great. It creates such a deeper level of connection with the client and the practitioner. So outside of getting you hooked up with the absolute best person for you, you are going to get to do a true FDN program. So what's going to be included is 3 months of coaching, You'll have 6 different sessions. You're going to have access to your FDN practitioner, and you're going to get to do all the main labs that we recommend to practitioners in the FDN course. So we're going to be looking at food sensitivities. We're going to be looking at the stuff in your gut, those hidden stressors, like major hidden stressors, right? You're going to find some bugs, and it might be like gross at first to think about, right? But we're trained to know what to do about these things no matter what route.
There we go.
Oh, good.
You froze a second.
So where did I cut out?
You're good. We were talking about, you were on the testing for the gut bugs.
Got it. Oh, so yeah, then after that, we're looking at the hormones and stuff. You're basically going through exactly what I just described before, and then a few little extra things. And you'll be doing that over the course of 3 months, which is 90 days. That's not your quick, just go to the doctor, be out in 20 minutes and, take something for it and feel better. But the difference between what we do and that is that this is something that is really going to help support your body over time. And is everyone going to be perfect after 90 days? No, but you're going to be so much better off, and you're going to be in the right direction. And I think the biggest thing that people leave the FDNthrive program with, and just working with FDN practitioners in general, is they're empowered. You're educated. You don't have to be super into this stuff and like a huge nerd like I am, or Piper probably is, to really know what to do. You're going to learn, all right, when I feel bad, I can understand, oh, that's what caused it. And then hopefully, once a year you come back to us and just check some basic stuff, but we don't want you here every single time. And that's not because we don't care about you, quite the opposite. We want to empower you enough and educate you enough after those 90 days that you feel like a rock star. You're out of that cycle of trial and error. You know what's going on. You know what you need to do. And you have the plan, because there is nothing that stinks worse than being in this like ambiguous place of like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel helpless. Like, can I even be helped? I promise you, you work with an FDN, you're 100% going to be helped. That's for sure.
Yeah, I love that we teach that model of self-care. I mean, that's, for me, I tell my clients, like, we're going to do the testing. We're going to figure out how to get you the optimal diet and nutrition. We're going to put it all together. But I'm going to teach you how to listen to your body. And then I'm going to set you free into the world, because you know what you need. Your body knows what you need. So I love that. That is a huge part of FDN, is teaching that model of self-care.
It's super important. And I think, I know it's a big mission, but like that is our end goal at FDN, right? We want this to be known by everyone throughout the world. And we got a heck of a lot of work to do. But I do think that's possible. Forget possible, it's necessary. With the stats that we have right now, we need people that are empowered to, work through their own healing journeys. And that is going to spread light to other people as well, to know that they can do it too, because that's the only way we're going to get out of this crisis. And I don't mean that pessimistically. I'm very optimistic about us being able to do this, but it's going to come from people like you out there that are interested in this stuff and really taking responsibility. I give so much props to anyone that is out there and been through what they've been through, and then are coming to us still trying. Some of these people are 10 years into trying to work on their health issues, and they've never given up. Props to you. It shouldn't be that hard. And when we work together, it'll make it so that it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're just joining us, drop the word "me" below this video. We are going to send you that link to get matched with your perfect FDN. If you are looking for an FDN practitioner, drop the word "me" below. We are going to send you that link. So before we hop off, this is something I want to talk about. I think this is the most perfect thing for you ever, because I think you have the best podcaster voice on the planet. But Evan is hosting our brand new FDNthrive podcast. So I want to hear a little bit about the podcast and what you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, right in the beginning. And well, first of all, thank you. Because it is cool, because I love it so much. So it feels like totally was supposed to be doing that or whatever. And to get to do that for FDN now, I'm just like, this is amazing, because, I'm still working on myself and career. With Reed and FDN's name, it's like we can hit up anyone we want and get them on the podcast and just get to talk to such cool professionals. So I think you can see the excitement on my face and hear it in my voice that I'm very glad to be here. So the FDNthrive podcast, how that we already we have a technical podcast. It's a call that's been available for 10 years with FDN, over 10 years. And that's more for the practitioner side. We get pretty technical and pretty fancy. Now, certainly there is educational aspects to the FDNthrive podcast, but this is the perfect thing for the consumer out there that wants to educate themselves. We're not going over your head with anything. We're not going super crazy, super technical. Leave that to the people who want to do it. You can listen to this, or I could have listened to this back as my 21-year-old self before I knew anything about FDN. And I could have gotten actionable steps to start empowering myself through health. Because again, we do the FDN stuff, but we're giving out information for free. We're giving out tips for free. We are literally throwing all the cards on the table and helping you guys as much as possible. The only thing we can't do, is run a lab test. That's something you got to just choose to do, right? But all the other information, FDN's selfless with it, and we throw it all out there. So the main thing I'm doing right now, outside of bringing in some other practitioners, some other people, I should say, in the space, is we are interviewing a lot of the FDN practitioners that have went through. There's thousands of graduates now, and you guys are going to get to be educated in story format. So I've been having people, listen to some of these episodes before they come out, because it's brand new. Episode number 3 is released tonight at 8 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. PST. So definitely get that checked out. Go to any major podcast platform and type in FDNthrive, all one word. Make sure you subscribe. I'd really appreciate a 5-star review too, because it helps us get more information out there to people. That'd be amazing of you. So you're going to hear these stories, but also learn what they learned throughout their journey. And I think it's like reading a book, right? Because you get someone's life story and all the things that they learned throughout their life and the mistakes that they made in, maybe 200 pages. And in this, you get it in a 40 to 60 minute podcast. I know Piper's going to be on pretty soon, so that'll be fun to get to hear her story and stuff. But how valuable would that be? Ryan Monahan was our first interview. Over 15 years, I think he had health issues for. And in an hour, he's going to tell you everything that worked for him and the stuff that supported him most. That's the podcast people need. I'm very excited and grateful to be hosting that with Reed, of course.
So tell everybody how they can find that podcast. Where is it?
Yeah, once again, so there's 2 places you want to go right now. On Instagram, we have FDNthrive on there. Definitely go check that out, because I'm doing little excerpts and little teasers of the podcast, so you can know if you actually want to listen to that episode. But also, again, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, FDNthrive. Get subscribed, and you'll get our episodes out. Right now, we're releasing Monday and Wednesday, and we're pushing to release Monday, Wednesday, Friday, probably by the month of February or March. So we're hustling out here.
Awesome. So if you guys are regular watchers of the Real Results Show, I will kind of clue you in that Evan will be taking over my hosting duties at some point over the next month or so, and he will be your new Real Results Show host as I move on to some other things. So I am really excited for him to do this, be the host. I think he's going to be fantastic. He has so much to share. The other FDN practitioners out there have so much to share. So thank you, Evan, for joining me today. And thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're watching that replay, make sure to drop the word me below so that we can send you that link. And I hope everybody has a fantastic Wednesday.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.